Ang hirap makahanap ng tunay na pag-ibig. Some people spend all their lives looking for that one true but elusive love. Kaya yung ibang mga tao nagdadasal pa para mahanap nila ang kanilang one and only. Yung iba nga nagsisindi pa ng kandila para matagpuan nila ang hinahanap nilang one and only. Kailangan daw tamang kulay ng kandila ang sisindihan mo para mahanap mo yung hinahanap mo. Kapag young single ka raw, ang dapat sisindihan mong kandila ay kulay puti para mahanap mo ang busilak na pag-ibig. Kapag may asawa ka raw, dapat sisindihan mong kandila ay kulay pula para lagi naglalagablab ang pag-ibig ninyo mag-asawa. Kapag byuda ka raw, ang dapat sisindihan mong kandila ay kulay purple para malalaman ng mga tao sa paligid mo na available ka na uli. Pero pagka matandang dalaga ka, pag matandang dalaga, ang dapat sisindihan mo raw ay katol para hindi ka lamukin sa kahihintay. Ang hirap makahanap ng tunay na pag-ibig. Bakit? Kasi ang hirap ding umibig ng tunay. Sometimes we think that we really love a person. Buhos tayo, time, effort, attention, affection, thinking that we love the person. Pero kung titingnan natin ang uri ng pag-ibig na yon, most of the time, it is self-directed. Kaya tayo nagmamahal ng ganun katindi, ganun kabuhos, sapagkat gusto natin buhusan din tayo ng ganun katinding pagmamahal. And sometimes we even demand for it. At kapag hindi natin nakukuha, malungkot tayo, frustrated tayo, sometimes even angry. Because we did not get what we were looking for. Kaya ang talagang minamahal natin most of the time ay ang ating mga sarili. Human love is many times selfish love. Kaya nga, tinuruan tayo ng Panginoon kung paano tunay na umibig. God's love is unconditional. Wala siyang minimiti for anything in return. God is a perfect being. He does not need anything, and yet He created this beautiful, abundant, orderly world. He created us. He did everything for us, nothing for Him. And when we sinned and were driven out of paradise, ipinadala ng Diyos ang Kanyang sariling anak na ibinuhos niya lahat sa atin. Wisdom niya, power niya, blood, sweat, and tears. He poured out everything for us when He became a man. And Jesus did not only become a man. His body and blood became bread and wine. Talagang bumaba siya from God to man to bread and wine, which we now call the Corpus Christi, the body and blood of Christ, whose solemnity we celebrate today. Through the Corpus Christi, Jesus left us with a sacrament of true love. Every time we consecrate the body and blood, we repeat the words of Jesus at the Last Supper. This is my body, which will be given up for you. This is my blood, which will be poured out for you and for many, for the forgiveness of sins. Talagang ibinuhos ni Jesus Christ para sa atin lahat. And every time we receive His body and blood, we experience the total, unconditional love of Jesus. And as we experience His love, we are drawn to that love. We become one with Him. The lover and the beloved become one, locked up in a mystical embrace. Kaya nga, ang sabi ni San Pablo, the cup of blessing that we take, is it not a participation of the blood of Christ? And the bread that we break, is it not a participation in the body of Christ? At ang ating gospel, Jesus Christ said, He who receives my body and blood remains in me, and I in Him. Yan ang unang effect ng pagtanggap natin ng katawan at dugo ni Kristo. Nakikiisa tayo sa Kanya. Nakikiisa tayo sa Kanyang buhay. Pinaglalapit natin ang ating buhay sa buhay ni Jesus. Kaya nga, dapat ang mga katangian ni Jesus ay magkakaroon din tayo ng mga katangiang yon. Loving, understanding, caring, forgiving, being generous to other people. The second effect of receiving Christ in the Eucharist is communal, because when we receive the body, the one loaf of bread, we become one body of Christ. As St. Paul said, because the loaf of bread is one, we, though many, are one body, for we all partake of that one loaf. And that is why, my dear brothers and sisters, as we receive the body of Christ, we must be open to mutual fraternity that is sincere. We must be led to share in the needs and longings, in the hurts and pains and joys of our brothers and sisters. We must share in the ecstasy of their victories and partake of the joys of their achievement. In other words, by receiving the Eucharist, we must be open to share of ourselves for others. Like Jesus, who unselfishly shared Himself to us. For when God created us, He meant us to be shared. All beings, both living and non-living, which God created, He meant them to be shared. Kaya nga ang sabi ni Pope Francis, the sun does not shine on itself, the rivers do not drink their own waters, the trees do not eat their own fruits, and the flowers, they do not bloom for themselves, and so is human life. When God created us, He meant us to be shared. And we learn that sharing from the body and blood of Christ, which He shared with us. And as we share ourselves, we can claim to truly love, because we have found true love in the body and blood of Christ that we have received.